Kulani, thanks so much for sitting down with us. Really appreciate it in your busy schedule. Besides your work at Corteva, you're also the president of the African Seed Trade Association, AFSTA. Congratulations with that.
Thank you.
So I'm sure you're keeping a very good eye on what's happening in the African continent. What would you say are the biggest challenges for African seed companies at the moment? And what would be ways to overcome them?
I would say the biggest challenge is it's trade related.
Mm-hmm.
For seed companies to thrive, they must have good trading conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Good trading conditions need to be supported by the existence of good formalized seed systems.
Of course.
So in the seed systems that we have today, some of them are not operating at an optimal stage, or they are not operating efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And some countries don't even have formalized seed systems. What this results in is that the IP protection or plant variety protection or plant breeders' rights protection then ends up not being strong. And this does not create an incentive for introduction of new improved varieties. Sometimes the registration system takes too long, 5 years, and it's also expensive. It ranges from $5,000 to $20,000 per variety across the African continent. So these regulatory hurdles slow down the ability of the seed industry to bring high-yielding varieties to the farmers.
Yeah. And so you're saying a major challenge is IP, intellectual property, plant breeders' rights, and a good regulatory environment.
Yes.
How could we overcome that? Is that a national government role, or is there a role for the national seed associations?
Definitely. The national seed associations are now working with governments through the regional economic communities to harmonize seed regulations according to regional economic blocks. This is starting to help because then when one can enter a regional economic community through one country or two countries, as compared to duplicating the variety registration system in many countries or multiple countries.
Mm-hmm.
It brings down the entry barriers for the seed companies to introduce new varieties, and it fast tracks the ability of the farmers to get these high-yielding varieties. So it's not working well in all the regional economic communities. That's why I will go back to the point of operational effectiveness. We need to close that gap between the seed companies, the seed industry, the government, and other key stakeholders, including the farmers or farmer associations, to close the gap faster.
Okay, good points. Let's zoom in a little bit on your home country, South Africa.
Yes.
What's going on there? Are you happy with the seed regulatory environment?
Yes.
Any challenges?
Yes, let me start with the positive part. The variety registration system in South Africa is working very well.
Okay.
The regulatory environment is very conducive for investment. The IP protection or plant variety protection is strong. We have seen these benefits of the introduction of agribiotech traits on cereal crops since the time of introduction, about 20 years to date. We have seen an average yield increase of about 22%. Mm-hmm. So these are very good benefits for the farmers and the growers. On the challenging side, still feel that we can improve the road to market. For example, if one wants to introduce a trait that has got biotech traits that benefit the farmers, one has to do trials for about 3 years and then variety registration for 1 to 2 years. So that takes too long. Mm-hmm. If there were to be an environment where we can do this simultaneously, we can cut down the road to market by at least 2 years.
Obviously,
So that's one point where we see challenges. Also, the technology environment is moving very fast. The regulations are not able to keep up with the new innovations. So we need to make sure that we bring on board policies that move with a fast-changing technological environment to close that gap so that our farmers can have high-yielding varieties and be able to compete at the global level at the same pace, move at the same pace with the farmers in many first world countries.
Fantastic. But some difficult challenges there. Right? Long-term planning is needed.
Definitely. But it starts with small steps.
Absolutely.
If we can narrow the gap between the industry, seed industry, with the government authorities, as well as other stakeholders in the agricultural sector, we can be able to make drastic changes in the next 3 to 5 years. We don't have to wait for 10 or 15 years to make these beneficial changes.
So we're here at the ISF Congress 2023 in Cape Town.
Yes.
I think it's the first time in 20 years that the ISF Congress is back on the African continent.
Yes.
What do you think, or perhaps what do you hope that the impact will be on the African seed sector?
So on the African seed sector, this Congress has provided a platform to show the African seed sector as well as the regulatory authorities as to what are these new technologies that are coming in that our farmers need to get access to, our seed companies need to get access to be able to compete at the global level. All the technologies that one can think of from plant breeding perspective, seed treatment perspective, high yielding varieties, genome editing, they are all being showcased here. And there's no better place to be in terms of networking as well with the technology providers as well as with other partners who can help in deployment of these technologies. All leaders in the seed trade, from a public sector perspective as well as from a government as well as from a private sector perspective, are here in one roof. And therefore, that's why you have seen the trading tables are very busy.
Yeah.
And this is really very beneficial for the African continent. Not to mention the investment, foreign direct investment that comes and boosts the economy when you have more than 2,000 captains of industry coming into the country.
Yeah.
So this has also a lot of indirect benefits for the African economy and the South African economy in particular.
Wonderful. A lot of benefits there.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't take 20 years before ISF comes back to Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about your company,
Yes.
Corteva.
Yes.
What are you guys doing for the African farmers?
So Corteva, we're bringing in a lot of innovation into the African continent. For starters, seed applied technologies. Corteva is coming up with seed applied technologies that can help control more pests and diseases. The second part is on traits, biotech traits. Corteva is introducing traits that simplify farming operations. In terms of weeding, we have a lot of herbicide-tolerant traits that can control weeds, and the farmers don't have to do manual weeding in Africa or use, conventional practices. We are moving the technology forward. In addition to that, we're building partnerships with smallholder farmers, with government authorities, to make sure that when we deploy these technologies, the smallholder farmers are not left behind, and the technologies are not only accessible to the commercial growers. So we have some philanthropic projects as well. We're doing some capacity building, and we're making sure that when we sell our traits, we're not just selling the traits, we're not just selling the seed. It comes with some agronomic development to empower the farmers.
Fantastic. Some really exciting developments there. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Kulani.
Thank you very much, Marcel.